God. Sar.
La Yashala.
La Yashala. Sar. I imagine, which means to stand. Wapanyaku down, which means rise and face east. Grab it from this side, Elisha. So I'll do this side over there loose. Got it? Alright. Wapanyaku down, which means to rise and face the east. If you're in class with us, the east is straight ahead.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodash, Hayah, Shimka, Yahweh, Malapaka, Tabah, Batazak, Hayah, Aisha, Laharatazah, Kawa, Hayah, Hashemaya, Bathalanawa, Lakam, Yawam, Masalachanawa, Kawafnawa, Kasalachnawa, Kawafinawa, Wala, Kabayanawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Kawashayanawa, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Para, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name.
Scroll just a little bit to your right on the shot. There you go. Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Baba Kushat, Nathanawa, Hakat, La'pa'a, Kal Makala, Hakat,
Salakia,
Latahar, Amatazariah, Hakat,
Hakat,
Hamat, Awakawa, the Garsham, Ba'ashem Yahushua,
the water Aman. In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power.
The
power to heal. All men of sickness. And all men of disease. The power to cleanse the power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
The prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wayashala, Waha, Bayaf Sapar, Barak, Rapah, Magun, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the water Aman. And what we just said in the English was Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh. Bless us at Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahahari, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Izar, Ma'ai, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaya, Laharatazah, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Regal, Al-Yanawam, Shamar, Anat, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'al, Yahweh, Shamar, Yahweh, Tizal, Al-Yad, Yamnika, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakaya, Wayarat, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Wakal Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'at, Wabawaka, Baitha, Awalam, Aman. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Dami Al-Lakah. Al-Fakarash. Al-Tashakwa. Al-Kayahana. Abu-Yabi. Yahama Yawan. Nashanai. Nashawa. Ash. Al-Amaka. Yarayama. Sawad. Wayatayai Tazawad. Al-Tazap Pawanyaka. Wamawa. Lakawa. Magoya. Wala. Yazakar. Sham Yashala. Aywa. Nawai Tazawa. La, Aliyaka, Barya, Yakarafa, Hadawam, Wayashama, Moab, Hagari, the Ball, Waimawan, Wamalak, Alashah, I'm Yashabi, Tazawa, Gamashawa, Nalawa, Imam, Iowa, Zorawa, Salah, Aisha, Kamadi, Kasayasa, Kayabian, Manahal, Yashwan, Nashamad, Ayanda, Iowa, Dama, Shayathamu, Diabwa, Ira, Ukazabat, Ukazamana, Say a Kumba, Ashar, Amawa, Rashad, Nawa, Alahaya, Shayathamu, Kagala, Kakwash, Lapanya Ash, Shabari Kalahaba, Paryam, Khan, Teradap, Basara, Wabasawa, Halom, Malaa, Panyahom, Orwan, Oyabakwash, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabash, Adi, Kapar, Oyabad, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahweh, Yawan, Kal, Ratazah, Aman. Psalms 83 and 8. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy enemies. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the make their nobles like a red, and like Zed, yea, all their princes as Zabak, and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So be it. This is the prayer, the blessings of the power structure in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka'ala. Wa Alahayim. Matazabia. Alawapyahan. Alawap. Hasaranya. Hakatazayanya. Hakayayalim. Yahweh. Bashim Yahushua. The Wada Aman. In English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shah. And Mike. And the angels. Commanding General Yohana. The generals. The captain, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, thank you. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshavia, which means to be seated. Go ahead and clap it up. Stand, clap it up. And we're in the book of Exodus, chapter 6 and verse 12, right? We're starting at Exodus chapter 6, verse 12. All right. Whenever you got it, Elisha.
Exodus chapter 6, verse 12.
Wayadabar, Mashal, Lapanya, Yahweh, Amar, Han, Banya, Yasha'ala, La'a, Shemayawa, Al-Ya, Wa-Yak, Yashamai, what's that? Yashamai, Washamai, Yashamanya, Parai, Wa-Anya, Iral, Shapathim. Verse 13. Wayadabar, Yahweh, all Mashah, wa all Haran, Wayatazawam, all Anya, Yasha'ala, wa all Parai, Malak, Matazarium, Lahawa Tazaya'a, Lahawa Tazaya'a, Banya, Yasha'ala, Matazarium. Verse 14. Allah, Ra'ashya, Banya, so like a Bayat, Abathon, Banya, Ra'awaban, Bakar, Yasha'ala, what's that? Kanawak? Yeah. Kanawak, Wapalawa, Hatazar, Wan, Wakaramya, Allah, Masha Pakah, Rawaban. Verse 15. Wabanya, Shemayawan, Yasha'ala, Yama Wa'al, Waya Mayan, Wa'ahad, Waya Kayan, Watazakar, Watazakar, Washa'awal, Ban, Haka, Nainyat, Allah, Masha Pakah, Shama Iwan, Shemayawan, Verse 16. Wa'ala, Shamawa, Banya, Lawaya, Latha, Ladatham, Garshawan, Wakwaha, Wamara, Raya, Washanya, Khayaya, Lawaya, Shabai, Washalom, Wama'a, Shana. Where am I stopping?
18.
Verse 17. Banya, Garshawan, Labanya, Washamaya. So like, Washamaya, Lamasha Pakatham. Verse 18. Wabanya, Kwaha, I Maram, Wayatazahar, Waha Barwan, Wa'izayal, Washanya, Khayaya, Kwaha, Shalash, Washalashim, Wama'ah, Shana.
This is Exodus chapter 6 and verse 12. And Moses spake before the Most High, saying, Behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of uncircumcised lips? And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Israel, and unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, to bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So it's like Elisha. What did you pick up, or what did you read last week? What was going on? Fill everybody in and just joining us this week.
So last week, continuing when Moses was given orders by the Most High to go into Egypt to tell Pharaoh to let his people go. Of course, Pharaoh was being stiff-necked and he didn't want to let the people go. I forgot where I was.
That I do remember. So here, last week and the week prior, remember.
So like if I make this, please. And also in the process now, the Israelites was losing faith because they felt like ever since Moses came to free them, things got harder. You know what I mean? And I remember breaking it down. When you come into the truth and when you come to serve the Lord, things don't get easier. Right. So a lot of things, the Egyptians, those heathens, those Africans, were putting heavier burdens on God's chosen people. And the taskmasters were reporting back like, hey, this is kind of rough. But Pharaoh was like, hey, they want to serve their God. This is what they gonna do. They gonna go through some hard rigor labor.
And that's what the brother was reading last week, the last 2 weeks actually. And where this started, remember, Joseph, Isupk, who was one of the 12 tribes of Israel, one of Jacob's sons, one of Israel's sons, his brother sold him into captivity. This was in the book of Genesis, right? So right now we're in the book of Exodus, but I'm taking you all the way back. The Pharaoh that was in charge at that time knew Joseph. And Joseph rose up to become viceroy, which is second in command over the entire country of Egypt at that time. Salakia. Well, after Joseph got older, passed away, after that Pharaoh passed away that knew Joseph, there was a new king over Egypt. There was a new Pharaoh over Egypt. And that Pharaoh did not know the Israelites. He didn't know the family of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel that migrated into that land with only, 70 people, the Bible says. 70 people. Jacob, his 12 sons, their wives, their children. They went to live in the land and migrate to the land of Egypt. Well, after the Pharaoh passed away that knew Joseph and rose him up to viceroy, Elisha, you have a new Pharaoh. And that Pharaoh was just like Donald Trump. That king was just like this cabinet that's in the White House right now that is full of white supremacists. See, back then you had Egyptian supremacists who didn't care about the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, just like the White House now don't care about the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The same parallels, the same thing. And that Pharaoh made life hard. The Bible said that he wanted to unalive the firstborn of all of the sons of Egypt, of all of the sons of Israel. He wanted the firstborn boy of all of the 12 tribes to be unalive. Why? Because with sons come power, come leadership, responsibility. The boys grow up to become men that will develop an army, a military. See, now because of democracy in America, you think women can be leaders and be in the military and they can rule. That's not so. Everyone in every nation understands that your rulership comes from a man. It comes from a monarchy. It comes from a king. It doesn't come from a woman. Everyone understand? Who knew that? Egyptians knew it. King Herod knew it when Jesus Christ came on the scene and his mother Mary, or Mariam, was pregnant with him. He made the same ordinance that this Pharaoh did thousands of years prior to Christ being born. Why? Because every ruler knows that if you have young black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men that grow up in the right conditions, with the right discipline and the right responsibility and the correct education, they will overthrow whatever government is in charge. How do I know? Because it was a black man who designed Washington, D.C. His name was Benjamin Banneker, who invented the clock. He designed and architected Washington, D.C. in the 1700s. A brother who was the children of slaves. He designed Washington, D.C. And if you've ever gone to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, you know how confusing it is. Guess what? It's confusing on purpose. Because at the time, who was America battling against? The British, the white coats. The British are coming. The Revolutionary War. Well, the Boston Tea Party. Well, if your nation's capital is confusing, then the enemies that are trying to invade to unalive your leader, he will have a hard time. So what did white men do? They employed Benjamin Banneker to design Washington, D.C. so that it was confusing to the enemies of America. A black man did that. The children of slaves did that. What else did the children of slaves do? Invented everything we use today. The computer chip, the first computers, the cell phone. Lonnie Johnson, a famous NASA engineer, he invented the super soaker your kids are going to play with this summer. Brothers and sisters, including the tribes of Issachar and Naphtali and Gad and Reuben and Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans and the Haitians and the so-called Mexicans, as the 12 tribes of Israel, like we've invented everything this nation uses and needs. That's what happens when the boys grow up to become in charge. What else happens, Elisha, when you have boys grow up to be in charge? You have a military that can fight and defend for the people, which is the ultimate reason why every nation hates black and Hispanic men, because they know that this is where your protection lies. When your protection or your men are weak or feeble, are broken, are contrite, are destroyed, are killed, or unalived, you don't have protection for your children. There isn't any protection for the children of La Raza. Those children will be in dog cages like they are right now. Why? Because there are no Hispanic men to stand up for those children. There are no black men to stand up for their children because we're all in prison or dead. So at that time, the Egyptian Pharaoh, he said, listen, I'm making an ordinance, a law, that all the firstborn of males of this tribe, of the 12 tribes of Israel, the Israelites, he has to be slaughtered. Well, there was a beautiful sister, Moses' mother, who said, I'm not doing that. And she had him, and guess what she did with him? She sent him down into in a basket and sent him down the water, which is what his name means, Mashah, which means water. You understand why? Because that's what he was drawn from. And as he's going down this river, there was the Pharaoh's daughter's servant, who saw this little baby boy in this basket, and she took him, adopted him, and Pharaoh's daughter raised Moses in his house. Everyone following me, right? Just keep up. So now what takes place? Moses grows powerful and strong as a member of the Egyptian race. He doesn't know yet that he's an Israelite. He doesn't understand that until he finds out. And he has empathy and sympathy for the children of Israel, his people. Moses was a Levite. So what you would call today a Haitian, that's what Moses was thousands of years ago. And he had empathy for his people. He had sympathy. He empathized with their slavery, with their captivity, with how the Egyptians were treating them. So what did Moses do? One day he saw an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew. He saw his brother get beat. He saw Philando Castile get shot 7 times in the car with his baby in the car. He saw Eric Garner get choked out by racist NYPD officer Pantaleno and those cops. He witnessed Trayvon Martin get unalived by some white man named Zimmerman in Florida. He witnessed Sandra Bland get beat and choked out with a shopper's bag. He witnessed all of the brothers and sisters that are abused here in America that we have to watch, and we have to have our hands tied behind our back and be able to do nothing about. Moses did something about the oppression of his people. He went and he unalived that Egyptian. He unalived that NYPD officer, unalived that LAPD officer who unalived his brother, who was abusing his brother. But because murder is wrong, Elisha, Moses had to flee. He knew what he did was wrong. The spirit behind it was righteous, but he knew his action was unlawful and it was wrong. Just like if you were to go unalive a cop now for beating your brother. You cannot unalive people. You cannot go and kill people because of what they did to someone you love. It is just the spirit you have to want to, but it is unlawful. And furthermore, it's a sin. And Moses knew that. So what did he do? He fled Egypt. He fled Egypt. He met a woman who was a Midianite, which is not an Israelite. But at this time, Moses is not in the truth. He met her, married her, talked to her father, Jethro, married that Midianite woman. He comes back to Egypt because he understands his people's plight to get free. And he wants to be at the forefront of our freedom. He goes back into Egypt, sent on a mission by the Most High, his God, the God of Israel. He tells Pharaoh to let his people go. And that is where we are right now in the story. Everyone understand? So this is Exodus chapter 6 and verse 12. And Moses spake before the Most High, saying, Behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of uncircumcised lips? Moses had a speech impediment, and he always would go back to that issue he had where he couldn't speak. He used it as a crutch to not do God's work. And the Lord became so infuriated with Moses' excuse on why he couldn't do his job that he said, you know what? Forget it. I'll make your brother Aaron your mouth. You tell Aaron what I tell you to say, and Aaron will be to you a mouth. And that's where the two comes from. Everything that we do in Israel, it always starts with two. Moses and Aaron. Moses and Joshua. King David and Jonathan. Christ and Peter. Paul and who was Paul's? Was it Timothy? Paul and Timothy. It's always tools to build up this nation, to defend this nation. It's always two, a first in command and a second in command. The Lord sends us out by twos, which is why in the Israelite school of UPK, that's the way camps and schools are built by twos. Moses and Aaron. Christ and Peter. Everyone understand? So this is Moses making an excuse for why he cannot tell Pharaoh what the Lord is ordering him to do. This is verse 13. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Israel, and unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Verse 14. These be the heads of their fathers' houses, the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, Hanak and Palu, Hezron and Carmi. These be the families of Reuben. And the sons of Simeon, Jemuel and Jamin and Ohad and Jechim and Zohar and Shaul, the son of a Canaanitish woman. These are the families of Simeon. So right now we're reading about the families of the 12 tribes of Israel. These are their sons. These are their children. These are the 12 sons. Salakia. Verse 16. And these are the names of the sons of Levi, according to their generations, Gershon and Kohath and Merari. And the years of the life of Levi were 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Libni and Shimi, according to their families. And the sons of Kohath, Amram and Izarah, Salakia and Izhar, and Hebron and Uziel. And the years of the life of Kohath were 133 years. Back to you, like
This is Exodus chapter 6, verse 19 in the Hebrew. Wabanya, Maraya, Machaya, Wamawa, Yashya, Allah, Mashapakath, Alawaya, Latala, Datham. Verse 20. Walakwak, Imarom, Yawa Kabad, the Dathwa, Lawa, La Sha, Wakala, Lawa, Aharan, Wa Masha, Washanya, Chayaya, Imaram, Shabai, Washalashim, Wama Shana, verse 21. Obanya, Yatazahara, Korach, Wanapad, Wazakaria, verse 22. Wabanya, Isaiah, Maya Sha'al, Wa'alatazapan, Wasatharia, verse 23. Wayakwak, Aharan, Alayashabai, Ba, Im Yanadab, Achawa, Nachashawan, Lawa, La Sha, Wathalad, Lawa, Nadab, Wa'a, Abaya Hawa'a, Ala Izar, Wa'a, Aya Damar, verse 24. Wabanya, Korak, Asayar, Wa'ala Kwanab, Wa'ab, Ya'asa, Allah, Masha Paka, it's like Hakwa Rakya, verse 25.
This is your last verse.
Kind. Wa'ala Izar, Wa'ala Izar, Ban, Aharan, Lakwak, Lawa, Mabano, Wa, Pawa, Saya'al, Lawa, La Asha, Wathalad, Lawa, Paya Nakas, Allah, Ra'ashya, Abawat, Halawayam, Lamasha Pakatham.
All right, this is Exodus chapter 6 and verse 20, or something like verse 19. And the son, so this is still the genealogies of the family, okay? This is Exodus chapter 6 and verse 19. And the sons of Merari, Mahali, and Mushi, these are the families of Levi according to their generations. Verse 20, and Amram took him Jochebed, his father's sister, to wife, Salakia, and she bare him Aaron and Moses. And the years of the life of Amram were 137 years. And the sons of Izarah, Korah, and Nephah, and Zikri, and the sons of Uziel, Mishael, and Elzaphan, and Zithri. And Aaron took him Elisheba, daughter of Amadab, sister of Naasham, to wife. And she bare him Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Verse 24, and the sons of Korah, Asir, and Elkanah, and Abasaph. These are the families of the Korites. And Eleazar, Aaron's son, took him one of the daughters of Putiel to wife, and she bare him Phinehas. These are the heads of the fathers of the Levites according to their families. Now remember, the fathers, not the mothers, which is so very important in our culture. Any other culture can go by whatever the hell they want to go by. But in the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Most High God had made it to where you are whatever your father is. You are whatever your father is. If Asians believe that they are what their mother is, we not Asian. Who gives a damn? White people believe in all different types of mix and race and miscegenation, whatever the hell. In Israel, you are whatever your father is. So you cannot come into one of our classes, our camps, our high holy days, and be one of us if your father, if he is not black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, if he's not from the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Haitians, Hispanics, Puerto Rican, Dominican, North American Indian, a Seminole Indian, he cannot come into this, you cannot come into this school. I don't give a damn what your mama is. What your mother is irrelevant to the Most High God. You are what your father is. It's how God ordained life. So if you're somebody who has a black mother, like Amber Rose, she has a black mom, but her dad is Irish and Italian. Amber Rose, like Dr. Umar Johnson wants her to be, you aren't black, okay? If you are like Naomi Osaka, whose mom is Japanese, but whose father is a staunch Levite, he is a Haitian like you wouldn't believe. He's a Haitian, brother. That sister is a Haitian. She's a black woman, so she can come in here. You are what your father is. And we didn't make these rules. These rules are found in the Bible. I just read it. Okay, and there's more scriptures throughout the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Christ, the genealogy of Christ started where? With his mom? With his dad. Why? Joseph. Why? Because in Israel, you are whatever your father is. Now, if you're some Jewish person and you're a white man and you're Asian or you're African, I don't care what you believe. You can believe you are whatever your mother is. Who gives a damn what you believe? What God says stands in here. And so the Bible says that you are what your father is. You're lined up from the lineage of your father's house. Your mother is irrelevant. Your father is what's relevant to the Lord. Everyone understand? Shalom to the sister that's checking in. Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shema Latah, Ba'ashim Yahushua. And shalom to all the brothers and sisters that's on here. Shalom to the brothers, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua that's watching. And shalom to the sisters, Yahweh Shema Latah, Ba'ashim Yahushua that's watching. Most High first. No, it's a sister that just saluted.
At the bottom is a sister.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I see somebody asked us, who are we? We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Juliana, and we are not affiliated with any other organization or Israelite group. If it's not out of the ISUPK, it is not the truth. Go ahead, Elisha.
This is Exodus chapter 6, verse 26 in the Hebrew. Hawa'ah, Aharon, Wamashah, Ashar, Amar, Yahweh, Laham, Hawataza Ayanyo, Hawataza Yahweh, Banya Yasha'ala, Matazar, Matazarium, Al, Taza Afim. Verse 27. Hamadabarium, Al, Parai, Malak, Matazarium, La Hawataza Ya'a, Banya, Yasha'ala, Mamatazarium, Hawa'a, Masha, Wa'aharan. Verse 28. Wayahaya, Bayawam, Dabar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, Ba'arataza, Matazarium. Verse 29. Wayadabar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, La'amar, Anya, Yahweh, Dabar, Al, Parai, Malak, Matazarium, Ab, Kal, Ashar, Anya, Dabar, Al, Yak. Verse 30. Wayamar, Masha, Lapanya, Yahweh, Han, Anya, Ayra, Shapathim, Wa'ayat, Yashamai, Al, Ya, Parai. Exodus chapter 7, Verse 1. Wayamar Yahweh al Mashara Nanafyak Alahayim La Parai Wa Aharan Akyak Ya Nabayak. I'm stopping at verse 2.
Con 7 and 2.
Con the water. Dabar Ka Ashar Atazawak Wa Haran Akyak Ya Dabar al Parai Wa Shalak Banya Yashala Matazaria Wa.
That's it. Alright. This is so like I keep wanting to say Genesis.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, this is so like this is Exodus chapter 6 and verse 26. These are that Aaron and Moses, to whom the Most High said, bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt according to their armies. Verse 27. These are they which spake to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring out the children of Israel from Egypt. These are that Moses and Aaron. And it came to pass on the day when the Most High spake unto Moses in the land of Egypt, that the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, I am the Most High. Speak thou unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, all that I say unto thee. And Moses said before the Most High, behold, I am of uncircumcised lips, and how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me? Because Moses had a speech impediment, he's thinking he cannot do the work of God. He's thinking, I can't talk. I can't even, how will anyone listen to me? How will Pharaoh even understand what the hell I'm saying? Because I have a stutter, I have a speech impediment. That's what Moses is thinking. That's what he told the Lord. This is what the Lord told Moses in chapter 7, verse 1. And the Most High said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Verse 2, thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. All right.
Going back to the Hebrew, Exodus chapter 7, verse 3. Wa anya akwa sha la parai wa harab yafya athafya wa mawa pathya ba'arataza matazarium. Verse 4. Wala'ai yashamai alakam parai wanathafya yadaya bamatazarium waha wataza afya Imiya manya yashala matazarium matazar ma'arataza matazarium bashapatium gadalium. Verse 5. Waya da'aiwa matazarium kaya anya Yahweh bana tathya yadaya ayla matazarium waha wataza afya banya yashala matha wakam. Verse 6. Waya aish masha wa aharan ka ashar tazawa Yahweh atham kan aishawa. Verse 7. Wamasha ban mash shamanayam shana wa aharan ban shalash wa shamanyam shana badabarium all parai. Verse 8. Wa amar Yahweh all masha wa all aharan la amar. Almost stopping at 9. I know I was close. Verse 9, Kaya Yadabar al Yakam Parai La Amar Danwa Lakam Mawa Pa Wa Maraf al Aharan Quakat like Quak Matak Wa Hashalak La Panya Parai Yahaya Latanya Latanyan.
That's Lathanan.
Lathanayan.
Yeah, Lathanayan.
Lathanayan. I wanted to run it together.
All right, this is Exodus chapter 7 and verse 3. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt, So why was Pharaoh's heart hardened? Because the Most High God wanted his heart hardened. Why did the Lord cause Pharaoh's heart to be hardened? So the Lord could display his power and his might. That's our God. That's our power. That's the power we serve in the Israelite School of UPK. We don't serve a dumb rock like the black Muslims of the Nation of Islam. We don't serve a cross like the Christians do in Bishop Eddie Long's church and in what's the other cat, Jamal Bryant's church. We don't serve no stupid racist cross that they burned on your front lawns in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's not what we serve. We serve a living God, a power that can control a man's heart, meaning his mind. Your heart in the Bible is your mind. And he controlled Pharaoh's mind to be hardened. Why did he cause his mind to be disobedient to the orders of Moses? So that the Most High God can show his power and his might in Pharaoh, in Egypt, by doing the wonders and signs that he did to those Egyptians out there. We're going to keep reading about. That's the reason why the Lord did that out. This is verse 4. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt, and bring forth mine armies and my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgment. This is so heavy. This is also goes into, in the Bible, in the so-called New Testament, it says, I believe it was Christ that said, to fear him don't fear a man that can just take your body, but fear him that can take your body and your soul. That's the Most High God that can take your body and your soul. A man cannot, a cop that unalives you for a traffic stop, at a traffic light, he can't judge your soul. He can't send your soul back into the earth in the reincarnation. He can't control what your soul does after death. But you know what he can do? He can just unalive you. He can shoot you, he can stab you, you can get into a fight, you can get choked out like Eric Garner and lose your life, unfortunately. But you should never fear man. Why? Because it is the Most High God that controls whether or not you come back in the earth cursed or you come back in the earth blessed. It's the Lord that can judge your soul. Pharaoh can't do that. So what should that teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? We should not fear our oppressor. We shouldn't fear man. We shouldn't fear Pharaoh, which is Donald Trump right now. He's Pharaoh right now. We shouldn't fear his racist cabinet. You brothers and sisters from the tribe of Isupk, the so-called Mexicans, La Raza, you shouldn't fear this ICE. You shouldn't fear being deported. You shouldn't fear Donald Trump. Why? Because if you obey the Most High God, he will do to Donald Trump in America what he did to Pharaoh in Egypt thousands of years ago. The Bible just said, this is the Lord, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt and bring forth mine armies. Who is the Lord's armies? Somebody want to answer that? This is what's so heavy about the Most High God. The Lord's army is not brothers, ain't men. It's not the United States Marine Corps. It's not the U.S. Air Force. It's not the United States Navy or Army. It's not the Coast Guard. It's not Space Force. That is man's army. Men need other men to go to war for them, not the Most High God. The Most High God, he doesn't need you or I to fight for him. You know what the Lord needs for us to do, brother? He needs for us to obey him, and he will send forth his armies. Who are the Lord's armies? The angels of God. Something that is supernatural. Something that has a celestial body and not a terrestrial body. Those are the armies of God. Those armies can do things that man cannot do. You see the naval pilots, they witness the IFOs in the sky, the identified flying objects. It was one pilot account that he gave an account in front of a congressional hearing where he said that those spacecraft, those saucers that the angels of God pilot, it goes over 22,000 miles an hour. It can go and fly under the sea and above the ocean. This is what the naval pilots are saying from the white man's military. You know who's those pilots? They belong to the Most High God. Those are angels that are conducting his orders, that are following God's orders. That's the God we serve. That's the God of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's your incentive for not getting high. That's your incentive for obeying the laws of God, for keeping the commandments and the statutes of the Most High God. Because the Lord has an army that is unlike men's army that will fight for us and defend us. So you don't have to go and march. You don't have to protest Donald Trump. You don't have to boycott Target and Walmart for them taking away DEI. You could just simply put down your blunt. You could simply stop having sex with other men's women. You could simply stop celebrating Valentine's Day and Christmas and your birthday, and God's armies will fight for us and defend us just like they did thousands of years ago in Egypt. Andy, you had something you want to say like that? Go ahead,
please, Salaki, if I may. And also to add on to what Officer Malak is saying, because what he's bringing out is absolutely true and is heavy. I've seen America, they have all these funds that they put into their military. The number one funded military in the earth.
That's right.
The most powerful military in the earth.
That's right.
No other military is more powerful than America.
That's right.
But yet, for some reason, all the money that they have and all the resources they have, I look at the news sometimes and I see something like a tsunami.
Right.
They don't have a defense today.
That's right.
When the earth opens up, or when the oceans are pumping out gallons of water, knocking down all the buildings and moving cars like they toys.
Yeah, right.
They had no defense for that. They had no defense for COVID.
That's right.
I mean, and these are just tastes of things. This isn't like something the Lord is like, go ahead and go to battle. I mean, these are just tastes and previews of what's to come.
That's right.
There is no defense against the Most High God in this earth.
That's right.
So if you're going to serve the Lord, just know you're on the number one winning team.
That's right.
If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian.
Damn right.
So obedience will get you victory. And that's all I wanted to say.
Damn right. Give it brother a hand. Right now, there's the measles and the tuberculosis outbreak. Tuberculosis outbreak in Kansas. Right over here in Wyandotte, Kansas.
So people going down for months behind that.
God. They got influenza A, which said that they said the regular flu has Salakia. They said the regular flu has nothing on influenza A. They said it's like COVID-19 times 10. It's an upper respiratory infection plus the regular flu. So it's also the vomiting, the nausea, you can't keep no food down. That's influenza A on top of a tuberculosis outbreak, on top of measles outbreak, on top of planes falling out the goddamn sky.
Oh, forgot about
There was another last night, just yesterday, the USS Abraham Lincoln, they crashed into a merchant ship in the Gulf of Aden, just yesterday. 24 hours ago, the most powerful military, the most powerful navy in world history, brother, one of their ships crashed into a merchant ship, a merchant sea vessel, because those are the armies of the Most High God. Those tsunamis and earthquakes and tornadoes, that ain't something controlled by your military. That's not something controlled by man's military. That's controlled by the military of the Most High God, which are the angels of the Lord, who do everything God wants them to do. I pray you understand that. I pray you understand what I mean, Donald Trump. He doesn't say, well, I want you to go out and wipe out all of Donald Trump's cabinet. An angel doesn't say, you know what, I can't do it because it's just against my religious beliefs. That's not an angel. An angel can only obey the Lord, can only do it. What does that mean for you, brother? It means that if you are against God, you will have a plane fall out the sky and blow up your goddamn home. You will get influenza A. You will get tuberculosis, and the children will get the measles, even if they do have the vaccine, if you are against God. This is not the time to be against God. This is the time to obey the Most High God so that you and your family can receive the only protection that's important in this day. Rolls Royces, money, political power, education, those things will not save you in this day. I know it's good to go to school and get an education. It's good to be a doctor, lawyer, but brother, money and education will not be able to save you in these last days. Just like money and education couldn't save the Egyptians during the time of Pharaoh. That wouldn't be able to save them. The only thing that can save you and the only thing that will ever be able to save our people is the obedience to the Most High God. That's the same way it saved us thousands of years ago. That's the only thing that we ever had as our only hope and our only faith was the obedience to the Lord. That's it. Everything else will fail. The pilot's license failed. All those pilots that fly those planes got a pilot's license to like your light shot. All of these doctors that are diagnosing you with measles and mumps and tuberculosis and influenza A, they have vaccines and they have cures for all of those diseases, the measles, influenza A, and tuberculosis, and people are still dying in record number. Why? Because God wants those people to be dead. God wants those planes to fall from the sky. And God wants this place to be judged for the crimes against God's chosen people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So what are you going to do, brother? What are you going to do, sister? Are you going to continue to wallow in sin? Are you going to continue to be a Christian or a Muslim or a Moor? Will you continue to be a drug addict and an alcoholic? Are you going to continue to be a terrible parent? I think those are terrible decisions, bad decisions. I would have you rather obey the Lord in the Isupk. I would rather you do what me and this brother did, make your election sure in the Israelite school if you can to command a journey honor. That's right. Because that's the only thing that can save your life in these last days. Not money, not wealth, not education, not political power, not who you know. None of that will matter. None of it will matter. Let's keep going. This is verse 5. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Most High when I stretch forth mine hand upon Egypt and bring out the children of Israel from among them. You know what the Lord wants everyone to understand? That the white man is not God. That Allah is not God. That your Christian church, the God they serve, is not the God of the Bible. That's what the Lord wants the entire earth to know. That he's the only God and the only power that brings life and takes life. That's what the Lord wants for you to know. Remember, the Bible says that God is a jealous God. He doesn't want you to think that Allah has any powers over you. He doesn't want you to think that the God you've been serving in the Christian church, Caesar Borgia, is the God that is the God of people, the God of the Israelites. He wants you to know that he's the only God and there is no other God with him, which is the reason he sends these planes to fall out the sky. There's a pilot of 30 years who recently came out and said he had an engine problem. He said he hasn't seen an engine problem on a plane since the 1980s. That's God, Doc. That's the Lord. Only the Lord can cause a problem. Only the Lord can cause a pilot with 33 years of experience to lose an engine. To cause a plane to just fall out of the sky like it was a missile. I know y'all all saw the video on social media. It's all over social media. It's all over Facebook. It's all over TikTok and Instagram. That plane in Philly landed on those people like it was a missile that just fell out of heaven. Salaki light shot. Like it was a missile that just fell out of heaven. Only the Lord can do something like that. Only the Lord can send COVID. Only the Lord can send a tuberculosis. You know how long it's been since tuberculosis ran rampant in the earth? I think D.H. Lawrence, which is personally one of my favorite authors of all time, he died from tuberculosis. Brother, that was in the 1940s. That was in the 1920s. That's when, what do they call it? Vaccinations weren't popular and weren't big. That's when it was one vaccination for everything. That's the time that I'm talking about. The last time tuberculosis unalived people at the rate it's unaliving them now over in Wyandotte, Kansas. Only God can do something like that. The measles. Are you kidding me? The measles. How long has it been? Since there was a measles outbreak, Elisha, the 1850s, 180 years ago, Salakia, 180 years ago, that's the last time there was a measles outbreak, Elisha. This is 2025, where planes, or Salakia, where cars can fly. Where you have drones that fly in the sky thousands of miles away, and someone is piloting a drone in Las Vegas, Nevada, while they're dropping bombs in Afghanistan. We live in a time where technology is the best it's been in history of the world. Yet and still, there are old world diseases in the new world. Only the Lord can do something like that. And that's what he wants the earth to understand, is only he is the only power. He is the only God. He is the one who can cause you to live, or he will cause you to die. That's what the Lord wants us to understand in these last days. Our problem, Elisha, is we still vote. We still think man can change things. You think Donald Trump's dumbass could change if planes fall from the sky? Do you think any amount of legislation could change a tuberculosis outbreak? Do you think the famine that is coming to America, Do you think that eggs are going to drop? Do you think that your child couldn't get measles even if he had a vaccine? I think you better go look at those videos. Those doctors who are treating those kids with the measles and adults with measles, brother, they have had full hazmat suits on. Full hazmat suits. You would think that those doctors were unvaccinated against measles. That's not true. Those doctors are vaccinated against measles, but because there is a fear that is prevalent in the earth right now, they don't want to even take the chance to get that measles. They don't even want to take a chance to do it. Why? Because everyone is on the brink of fear. They fear everything. There's a fear in the earth that only the Lord can cause. And the Lord wants you to fear everything. He wants you to fear your goddamn shadow when you're walking down the street. Why? Because that's a good thing. You know what we've been missing for so long? People haven't been afraid of anything. People haven't been afraid or ashamed of anything. They haven't been afraid to go to a goddamn Planned Parenthood clinic to get a baby taken out of their womb. They haven't been afraid to vote for some white man like Donald Trump. You weren't afraid to have unprotected sex. You weren't afraid to not get your child vaccinated. So what does God do? Now, Elisha, there's a fear in the earth, brother. There's people at my slave, them devils at my slave said, I don't think I'm flying for a while. I don't think I'm going to fly. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to get in the car and you're going to die from a car accident. There is nothing you can do to escape the plagues of the Most High God. That's what we're about to read right now in the Bible. There is nothing the Egyptians could do to escape the plagues of God. How do I know, Elisha? Because God wanted to send those plagues. That's the reason why. God wanted to harden Pharaoh's heart. He wanted Pharaoh to say, no, I'm not letting your people go. You know what you Christians are praying for right now? You're praying for Donald Trump to change his heart against the Issachaриtes. You want Donald Trump to be more lenient with the Mexicans. You want him to have mercy. You want his cabinet to have mercy on the Mexicans. The Christians, they are praying for the Mexican people so the Lord can have mercy on them. The Lord doesn't want Donald Trump to have mercy on the Mexicans because the Lord wants to kill Donald Trump. The Lord wants to unalive white people. He wants white people to pay for their crimes. So guess what? The Mexicans won't receive any mercy. They won't receive mercy. You know who else won't receive mercy, Elisha? Black men that get pulled over by the cops. We won't receive mercy from the cops. Here you are in the church praying for God to stop police brutality. They've been praying for God to stop police brutality since Dr. King walked the streets in the 60s. God isn't going to allow the cops to have mercy on black men when he pulls them over. He won't have mercy. The cops won't have mercy on black women when they pull you over. Why? Because the Lord wants white cops to pay for their crimes. That's right. And the only way that they can pay for their crimes is to give you more hurt. It's to unalive more black people. Now, what should it teach us? It should teach us to obey God. For the life of me, Elisha, I can't understand if my daddy was killed by the police, if my grandfather's in prison, if I grew up without a father, if my mother is a whore, my parents is on drugs, I grew up with my granny, and I grow up and I see the hell that we still have to live in, brother, I wouldn't keep smoking drugs. I wouldn't keep using drugs, Elisha. I wouldn't keep having unprotected sex, seeing all of the women that have HIV and AIDS in your community. I think that's a slippery slope. I think what you should do as black people is you should obey God. If you're a Mexican and you see ICE showing up to your kid's school to deport them back to Mexico, if you are a Mexican and you see ICE show up to your job, they just raided this plot here in Kansas, a Mexican restaurant here in Kansas last week. You saw that? If you're a Mexican and you see that, what are you going to do? Pray to Mary? What are you going to go to the Catholic Church and say 5 Hail Marys? Mary cannot save you, Mexicans. She can't save you, but you know who can? The God of the Bible can. And the God of the Bible wants you to stop praying to Mary, wants you to stop being Catholic, wants you to stop being Christian. Black man, you know what the Lord wants you to stop doing? You know what the Lord wants you to do? He wants you to stop voting. He wants you to stop having sex with white women. He wants you to stop getting high and selling drugs. He wants you to stop being a criminal, and he wants you to start obeying him. That's what he wants. That's going to lessen the amount of cops that brutalize your brothers. That's going to lessen the ICE agents that come and show up to your job for you to be deported next. Only obedience to the Lord can stop these plagues. That's it. If you're black and Hispanic, the only way that you can be protected from the plagues of God is for you to obey the Most High God. Everyone understand? This is Exodus chapter 7 and verse 6. And Moses and Aaron did as the Most High commanded them, so did they. And Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron 80 years old, when they spake unto Pharaoh. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. Now, who else you know, Elijah, can turn a rod, a long piece of wood, which is what a staff is, into a snake? I don't think Donald Trump can do that. A pastor can't do something like that. But you know who can? The God of the Bible can. Go ahead, Elijah.
Exodus chapter 7, verse 10 in the Hebrew. Waya Masha, Wa Haran, Al, Parai, Waya Aishwa, Khan, Kashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Waya Shalak, Aharan, Matahara, Lapanya, Parai, Walapanya, Ibadyawa, Waya Haya, Latanyawan, Latanyan. Verse 11. Waya Korah, Gam, Parai, Lacha, Kamyam, Walam Kash Payam, Walam Kash Payam, Waya Aishwa, Gum, Hum, Karat, what's that? Karat Maya, Matazarium, Balahat Yaham, Khan, verse 12. Shalakwa or Shalakwa. So Waya Shalak. So is like
Waya Shalayakwa.
There you go. Waya Shalayakwa. Ayash Matahawa. Waya Hayawa. Latan Yanam. That one's tongue twisted.
Lathanayim. Oh no, I can't see it.
Latanyanum. Waya Lai Mata Aharan Batadum. Verse 13. Waya Chazak La Parai Wala Shemai Alaham Kashar Dabar Yahweh. Verse 14. Waya Mar Yahweh Al Mashah Kabar. It's like Kabad La Parai Ma'an La Shalach Ha'ain. Verse 15. Lot Al Parai Babakwar Hanai Yataza'a Ham Yama Wana Tazabat Lakwar Akwa Al Shapat Hayar Hayara Wahamata Ashar Nahapat La Nachash Bakwak Baya Dak.
That's it, last verse.
That was 15?
No, 16.
16 last verse. Verse 16. Wa Amarat al Yawa Yahweh Alahaya Ha'ai Baryam Shalachakaniya Shalachniya Al Yat Lamar Shalach Anya Waya Batniya Bamadabar Wahana La'a Shemai Aid Ka.
This is Exodus chapter 7 and verse 10. Then Moses said, Aaron went in unto Pharaoh. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh. And they did so as the Most High commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh. and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Verse 11, then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments, for they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods, and he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them, as the Most High had said. Verse 14, and the Most High said unto Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuseth to let the people go. Get thee up, so I can get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goeth out unto the water. And thou shalt stand by the river's brink against he come. And the rod which was turned to a serpent shalt thou take in thine hand. Verse 16. And thou shalt say unto him, the Most High God of the Hebrews, so like the Most High power of the Hebrews, hath sent me unto thee, saying, let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear.
We're going back to the Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Exodus chapter 7,
but
verse
if I
7.
could, like, so I'll just say one thing before you keep reading, because we almost done with this, right? Just always keep this in mind too. Remember, the Bible just said that Pharaoh, he conjured up his magicians and his sorcerers. Now, why did their rods also turn to serpents? Anybody want to give a guess? For time's sake, Elijah, you want to give a guess? Why did now we know magic isn't real. If you was to have a magician, David Blaine, put a rod on the ground now, try to turn it into a snake, it couldn't happen. So why did it happen? How was it possible? Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, like you said, it's no such thing as like magic. You know what I mean? They didn't have special powers. The Egyptians didn't have special powers. But I believe, because I heard General Muhammad break this down before. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you correct me if I'm wrong. It was either, you know, of course, so the Most High God can get magnified. I mean, Moses.
Go ahead. So how did that happen? How did their rod also turn to serpents?
But I couldn't remember if it was actually like some type of trick that they did.
Not a trick.
You know what I mean? Or the Most High God let it happen.
There you go.
You know, so he can be glorified.
Because what happened to their serpents? It got swallowed up by Moses. The serpent Aaron laid down on the ground. The Lord's serpent. The Lord allowed their quote unquote magic to happen. Why? So his power can be so his power can be shown to Pharaoh. Mm-hmm. Now what happened after Pharaoh saw it? He said, you know what, y'all can go. No. Hell no. The Bible just said the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart again. He said, nah, I don't believe it. He didn't believe what he saw. Just like Donald Trump doesn't believe that there were no black pilots who caused these crashes. Donald Trump is such an idiot. And his heart is so hardened towards the Mexicans and blacks that when the planes went down, before he even had the report on who flew the planes, he said it was black people that caused the planes to crash. Do you believe that, Elijah? That's the Pharaoh. That's Pharaoh in the Bible we read about. He said, no, I don't believe it. He just saw it with his own eyes. He still didn't believe it. He's an idiot like Donald Trump. And the Lord wants that. Do you understand? The Lord doesn't want Donald Trump to be kind to us. He doesn't want Donald Trump to say, you know what? I've seen enough. Halt all of the deportations of the Mexicans. Don't deport anymore. Let them stay in the country. That's never going to happen because black, Hispanics, and Native Indians won't be free from America showing us peace and harmony and giving us mercy. Did we get free in Egypt from the Lord, from Pharaoh, giving us peace and a day off? All we wanted was 3 days off. That's it. That's all we wanted was 3 days off. Just like all we want now for Isupk is for them to stop being deported. That's it. Is it going to happen? Hell no. Why? Because the Lord doesn't want it to happen. You don't get freedom from people who oppress you, showing you peace. How do I know? Because all you are is a slave with better living conditions. That's the entire reason. Black people always ask Elijah, why has there never been another Malcolm X or Dr. King? Why has there never been another Medgar Evers, the Black Panther movement? You know why? Because America, after integration, they showed us peace. They gave us some type of, they gave us better living amenities. What do I mean by that? Instead of us being beat in water holes and dogs sicked on us, They said, you know what? We will give them affirmative action and allow them to go to our colleges, allow them to drive Rolls Royces, allow them to live and marry our women. So what did that do to us? It rocked us to sleep like a baby. So now instead of us wanting to fight against white people, we think white people are our friends. We think the government is our friend. We think we can get in there and change the system. That comes from being lulled to sleep. You don't get freedom from a people who oppress you, giving you a slave a better living amenities. You just become a better victim to your oppressor, to your master. That's Stockholm Syndrome 101. If some man comes and beats this woman he has captive, but he gives her better amenities, she's never going to leave his side. But if you are beating us every day and having dogs, see what's going on, brother, and you sicking dogs on us and turning water hoses on us every day, we're not just going to stop and say, you know what, we got to love white people. What are we going to do? We got to fight white people because they killing our children, they are lynching us, they oppressing us. You don't get better as a people by the people oppressing you, showing you better peace and mercy and kindness. That rocks you to bed like a baby. Now you see Floyd Mayweather, he can go to Gucci and drive Rolls Royces, and you are in the White House, you got affirmative action, you got, you're getting in there and changing the system. That illusion, it rocks you to sleep. So now you are just a slave with better amenities. You don't live on the floor of the shack anymore. Now you can live in the White House. You can go in the big house with Big Daddy. That's what we have become in this place, which is why you've never seen any black leaders since Dr. King, Malcolm X, or Medgar Evers to try to fight for the oppression of black people, because we don't even think we're oppressed. God doesn't want America to show us peace. It's going to be worse for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, or else we are going to stay here for another 400 years. If Pharaoh never hardened his heart, if his heart was like hardened his heart, we would have still been in Egypt, Elijah. Had Pharaoh never gave us harder labor, we would have stayed in Egypt and been happy. If he would have allowed us those 3 days off, we would have said, look at Pharaoh, my Pharaoh is good. Our slave master, he's a good slave master. He gives me 3 days off. That's a good slave, Bach. The Lord doesn't want us to be better slaves. He wants us to rule this world. You will never rule the world if you're comfortable with your oppression. So what does God have to do? Allow Donald Trump to be president. And Donald Trump is going to be the worst president towards us that since Ronald Reagan. How do I know? Because God wants it to happen the way he wanted Pharaoh to not let us get those 3 days off. Keep going, Elijah. That's a lot.
And if I may,
please,
quick,
go ahead.
And what I see in the earth today was another thing that's putting our people to sleep is, our oppressor trying to use different classes to try to make it seem like it's not a black or white thing. Mm-hmm. And what I mean is that like you got everybody.
Oh, you said upper class, lower class, middle class.
There you go. Different classes, upper class, middle class, lower class. Now you got Donald Trump, he's with Jeff Bezos. You can already tell what class he's for.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Jeff Bezos, they all the same to me, but it's like Elon Musk, that oppressor. But if you go vote for Joe Biden, it's the same exact thing. This is my point. Going to go vote for Joe Biden or voting Republican and Democrat, it doesn't matter. That puts us to sleep as well. That's right. Because now you have a lot of oppressors that they can sympathize with black people because I'm a poor white person.
John.
I'm a poor white person, so I can relate to you.
John.
And when that absolutely doesn't mean anything in the Bible. It's all about your bloodline and where you come from and your lineage.
Right.
But just because you're poor doesn't mean you can relate to black people. That is an insult within itself.
Right.
You understand? But they are pushing that and we're falling for that. Oh, I mean, Bobby grew up in the 50s, so he can say the N-word a lot because he knows the struggle. Like, no, Bobby is only in the ghettos with you and I, because white people make horrible leaders. Right. They don't give a damn about their own people.
Right.
But guess what? Bobby is still white in America. Right. You know what I'm saying? And he's in this country. His forefathers didn't come in this country through slave ships.
That's right.
They came to conquer and destroy and built it off the labor off our backs. You understand? So class and all that, upper class, lower class, middle class, a lot of oppressors are trying to push that and trying to say that makes them relatable or can understand our conditions and pain and our history. And it has absolutely nothing to do with nothing.
That's right.
And that's all I wanted to say. So, like,
go ahead, Elisha. That's on you.
Kind of the kind. This is Exodus chapter 7, verse 17 in the Hebrew. Ka, Amar, Yahweh, Baza'ah, the Dai, Kaya, Anya, Yahweh, Hana, Anakya, Makah, Bamata, Ashar, Bayadya, Al, Hamyam, Ashar, Bayara, Bayara, Wana Hapakwa, Wana Hapakwa, Ladam, verse 8. Verse 18, right?
Come. You 7 and 18. You stopping at 23.
Wahad Daga, Ashar, Bayara, Wa, Waba Ash, Hayara, Wana La Awa, Matazarium, Lashaf, Wa, Mayom, Man, Hayara. Verse 19. Waya Amar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, Amar, Al, Aharan, Kwak, Matak, Wanata, Yadak, Al, Maya, Matazarium, Al, Naharatham, Al, Yahom, Wa Al, Agamayahom, Wa Al, Kal, Makwawa, Mayahom, Waya Hayawa, Dom, Wa Haya, Dom, Bakal, Aratazam, Matazarium, Waba Aitazam, it's like it, Waba Aitazayam, Waba Banyum, verse 20. Waya Aishwa, Khan, Masha, Wa Aharan, Kashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Waya Aram, Bamata, Wayak, Hamayam, Ashar, Baya Ra, La Ayanya, Parai, Wala Ayanya, Ibadua, Waya Hapakwa, Kal, Ham Yum, Ashar, Baya Ara, Ladam. Verse 21. Waha Daga, Ashar, Baya Ra, Mata, Waya Ba'ash, Haya Ra, Wala Yakawa, Matazarium, Lashahwa, Mayom, Man, Hayara, Waya Haya, Hadam, Bakal, Matazarium. 23. Verse 23. Waya Pan, Parai, Waya Ba'a, by Yahwa, Wala'a, Shah, Labawa, Gam, Laza'ah.
That's it. That was it. All right, this is Exodus chapter 7 and verse 17. Thus saith the Most High, and this thou shalt know that I am the Most High. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in my hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. Verse 18, and the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. And the Most High spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, take thy rod and stretch out thy hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. Verse 20. And Moses and Aaron did so, as the Most High commanded. And he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river, in the sight of Pharaoh and in the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank, and the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river. And there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened. Neither did he hearken unto them, as the Most High had said. Verse 23, and Pharaoh turned and went into his house, neither did he set his heart to this also. All right, let's see a lot of shots on you.
This is Exodus chapter 7, verse 24 in the Hebrew. Waya Parai, Kal, Matazarium, Sabaya Bath, Hayara, Mayom, Lashahwa, Kayala, Yakawa, Lashat, it's like Lashatat, Mama Yamya, Hayara. Verse 25.
This is the last 7? Okay.
Come to come.
So you stopping at 5.
Come to come. Wayama la'a shabayth yam yam acharia hakawa Yahweh haya ara. This is Exodus chapter 8, verse 1. Wayamar Yahweh al Masha ba'a al Parai wa Marah al Yahweh ka Amar Yahweh Shalach Amya Waya Ibadniyah. Verse 2. Wa'am Ma'an Afta La Shalach Hana Anakya Nagat Ka Gabawa Lak Bataza Parad Ayam.
Yeah, Bataza Paradayam.
Barat, so like Batazap Rapat
Radayam.
But Bataza Paradayam. Verse 3. Washarataza Hayara Tazara Da'ayim Wa'awa Waba Awa Waba Awa Baba Yata Waba Dar Mashaka Bak Wa'al Mata Dak Waba Bayak Ibad Yak Waba Aimak Waba Dun Wariyak. I ain't too sure on that. Waba Dun Wariyak.
Let me see.
Wabath, no, Wariyak. I don't know.
Yeah, you said it right.
Wabath, no, Doriak.
Yeah, you said it right.
Well, Most High Christ is like Waba Mash Arah Wathyak.
And
that's
5.
Verse 5. So
you gotta go to
verse 4. Verse 4. Wabaka, Waba Aimak, Wabakal. Ibadyak Ya'awa Hatazapar Da'ayim. Verse 5. Waya Mar Yahweh al Masha Mar al Haran Nata Yadak Bamatak Al Hana Harat Al Hayaran Wa Al Ha'agamyam Wa Ha'al Hatazapar the Ayam Matazarium.
This is Genesis, Salaki. This is Exodus chapter 7. The verse where you start 21.
Hold on. Let me go back.
I think you started at verse 23.
The last 24.
So okay, for water. This is Exodus chapter 7 and verse 24. And all the Egyptians dig round about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled. After that, the Most High had smitten the river. Chapter 8, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh and say unto him, Thus saith the Most High, Let my people go, that they may serve me. And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs. Verse 3. And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bedchamber, and upon thy bed, and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. Verse 4. And the frogs shall come up both on thee, and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants. Verse 5. And the Most High spake unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, Stretch forth thine hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. With that, I imagine just us up here. Go ahead, Elisha. Sar.
Layashala.
Scoot over. So right just a little bit. There you go. Sar. Majim, which means to stand. Everyone stand. You got it, Elisha? I got you. Wapunya Akwadam, which means to rise and face the east. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Right?
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemaya,
Kadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak, Tabah, Ratazah, Hayah, Aisha, Baharatazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemaya, Nathanawa, Nacham, Yawam, Wasalachna, Kawafna, Kasalachna, Kawafna, Wala, Abayana, Banasayawan, Abal, Mayan, Ra, Hayah, Hamalakwa, in English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakat, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Barakashah, Nathanawa, Hakat, La Pa'ah, Kal Marawa, Hakat, Latahal, Hamatazariah, Hakat, Hamathia, Awakawa, Tama'al, Garsham, Hashem Yahushua, Wadaman, in English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal, all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease. All manner of disease, power to cleanse the lepers, power to raise the dead, power against the unclean spirit, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. The prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Baraklanah, Wayasha'al, Wayaf Barak, Magun, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Wadaman. What we just said was Yahweh in the name of Yahushua. Bless us and Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha, Ayan, Ahahar, Ayan, Yabah, Izar, Ma'an, Hawa, Aisha, Shemaya, Waharatazah, Al-Yatham, Namawat, Nagal, Al-Yanawam, Shamar, Panah, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayasham, Shawamor, Yasha'al, Yahweh, Shamar, Yahweh, Tazal, Al-Yad, Yamyan, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaya, Wayarach, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Bakara, Yashamar, Afnapash, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazat, Maida, Alam, Aman. In English, I will lift my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Al-Hayah, Al-Damayalakah, Al-Karash, Al-Shakwat, Al-Yahana, Al-Yabik, Yahama-Yawan, Umashanai, Yashawa, Ash, Al-Himaka, Yarayam, Sawah, Wayatayai Tazawah, Al-Tazap, Amawa, Kawa, Nakakim, Goya, Yazakor, Sham Yashal, Aywa, Kaya, Nawai Tazawah, Al-Yakad, Maria, Yakaraf, Hadawan, Wayashamaal, Wawaba, Hagoy, Gabal, Waimawan, Wamalak, I'm Yashab, Tazawu, Gamashu, Galawa, Haiman, Hayawa, Zarawa, Banyalawa, Salah, Aisha, Hom, Hamadi, Kasayasa, Hayabi, Manachal, Yashwan, Eshamadu, Bayanda, Hayawa, Dam, Shayatamba, the Diabo, Kaira, because Zakazabah, Zakazalmanah, all the say a come, Ashar, Amawah, Naya Rashad, Nawa, Nawak, Alahaya, Shayatham, Kagagala, Kaquash, Panyaraka, Kapash, Tagariya, Kalahaba, Aryam, Gan, Basara, Wabasawa Papa, Kalahalom, Malah, Panyahan, Bowan, Waya Paquash, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya Bahawa, Waya Kapara, Waya Baba, Waya Ira, Kaya, Abba, Shamka, Yahweh, Abaka, Al, Yawan, Al, Ratazah,
Aman. Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace. And be not still,
and
Yahweh.
Be not still, O Yahweh. For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Consulted against thy enemies. They have said, come, and let them cut Salakia, and let them cut us off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarims, the Baal, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kassan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the make their nobles like a red, and like Zed, yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh my power, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So be it.
The prayer of the blessings of the prayer power structure in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa
Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahaya. Matazabia. Alawak Yahweh. Hasaranya. Hakatazayanya. Hakayayalu. Wak Yahweh. Bashim Yahweh. The water Aman.
In English, bless you Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding general Yahweh, the generals, captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Salaki, thank you. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. Men of Israel, girded thy loins and prepare. Salakia. Men of Israel, girded thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Sar. How about Shimei Shah Brakya? Sar. You can put it down there. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh, Shimei Shah Brakadam, Yajim Matah, Sar, face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh, Shema Aladam, Shimei Shah, Yajim Matah, dismissed. Go ahead, Elijah, we can start cleaning up.